Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be with you today. As it turns out, I am sitting in on the interviews for some of the new people that are being hired for the school, so trying to help things get better for next year, helping to make sure that we have good people working here. So here's what you're gonna do today. First thing you're gonna do is pair up with another person in class. You need to be sitting next to them, and you need to have one laptop to share. If we run out of laptops, you can use the desktops in the back of the room, but you still need to be paired up, okay? So 2 people at each computer. So that's the first step, and I'm gonna let you pause this video until everybody is paired up, and then you're gonna move on to the next step, okay? Go ahead and get logged in on the computer once you're paired up. All right, everybody's paired up with somebody else. They have a computer, laptop, or desktop to share. Once you're logged into the computer, on your account, you have to install the special EOG testing extension to Google Chrome. Now, you only have to install it once on your account. After that, you'll be able to access this. And one of the cool things is that once you follow the steps I'm about to explain to you, you can do this at home if you want to get a little bit more experience with what the EOG is going to be like. Okay, so we're going to follow these steps together to install the extension under the account of the person who's logged in, and then you're going to take turns going through the orientation and the tutorial and stuff. Okay, all right. So first step is you're going to go up here to the address bar in Google Chrome, and you are going to search for NCTEST, all one word, NCTEST space Chrome space Web Store, with a space in between them. NCTEST Chrome Web Store is what you're searching for. And when you do that search, the very first thing that pops up on the list is the extension that we want. So you click on that one time, and it's going to show you the NCTEST plugin or extension, and up in the top right is a button that says Add to Chrome. Now, if that button says Open, then you already have the extension installed. But if it says Add to Chrome, then I want you to click on Add to Chrome. And then it's asking if it's okay, and you're going to click on Add App. Add App. Give that a couple of seconds, it'll install, and it'll bring you to your app window. Now, you might not have as many apps as I do, but you should definitely have an app that says NCTEST. If you get this far, then you know you did everything properly. If you did not, I want you to work with your partner to get to this step, okay? Then, once you're here, I want you to click on the button that says NCTEST. Just click once. And that's going to launch the app. Now, this is the same app we used for EOG testing, so it's going to take over the whole window. It's going to make sure that you can't change to another window during testing, or you'll get logged out, and the teacher in your room will have to log you back in. So there are 4 options here, and on the Chromebooks, you can scroll up and down using the arrows, or you can put 2 fingers on the trackpad and scroll up and down that way, okay? So there are 4 options. The one on the top right, the CTE login, we're not gonna bother with that. And the one on the top left, we're not gonna bother with that because you can't get into those without a teacher logging you in, because these are used for actual testing. The bottom, though, are the 2 things that we're gonna be looking at. The tutorial walks you through how to use this interface. Now, if you're somebody who did not test online last year, I'm going to encourage you to do the tutorial. But if you were here for testing last year, that's unnecessary, okay? So if one of your 2 partners today needs to do it, then they can do it first, or you can come back to it. But really, we want to spend the most of our time today is on the released items. So if you click once in that square, the next thing it's going to do is give you a bunch of options. All of you need to watch the desktop tutorial video. So I want to pause here for just a few minutes for you guys to do that. Right here where it says you may watch the desktop tutorial video here, you click on the Here button, brings up the video. It takes about 14 minutes. You and your partner need to watch this video, okay? So pause my video right here while you watch that video, and then come back to me. All right, we're back. You've watched the tutorial video. We're going to close that. Now, under test type, we're going to choose EOG. Okay, under test type, you're going to choose EOG. Under test name, you can probably guess, but under test name, we're going to choose Science Grade 8. It's at the very bottom of the list, Science Grade 8. Now, the other options that are available to here are really only for people that have special IEPs that say that they have a read aloud option. If you choose Enable Test Read Aloud, then a person with headphones plugged in could actually hear the test read aloud to them. But that's not available for most people during the actual test, so I don't want you to practice with that. The change of font size, regular or large, is not available to most people during the test, so I don't want you to play around with that. And the theme, the color theme, that's not going to be available to you during the actual EOG. So you can play around with it right now, but just know that the actual test is not going to have those options. So then you click on Login. Login. Now, it's showing you what the actual test is going to look like. Where it says school name at the top, it'll say Roseville Middle School. It'll have a form letter. Up here in the top left will be your name during the actual testing. If you see something other than your name on the computer you're working on the EOG day, then that's a sign that you need to let your teacher know, because it means you're not on the right computer or they chose the wrong student when setting up your computer. You're not going to touch anything on this screen until the teacher tells you to get started on EOG day. For today, though, I want you to go ahead and click Start. It's going to start with 3 sample questions, just like the real EOG does. And remember that the whole point of this is for you to play around with the toolbar up here. You need to see what happens when you use the flag button, the strike button, the highlight, the remove highlight, the clear highlighting, and what happens when you click on the question mark. So I want you to click on those things so you see what they're like. And then I want you to answer the question, hit the next button. It's going to tell you what the correct answer is because these are sample questions. That will also happen on the EOG. This one wants you to fill in this box. So what's an example of something that is a type for a grasshopper? That would be an insect. So I drag insect up here. I drag bird over here. And I drag plant over here. Okay, and then I hit next. Okay, and then I do the last one here. Click every organism that is an animal. So I have whale, I have bear, and I hit next. Okay, so I'm done with the samples. Now it's time for me to go through the actual released items. Now keep in mind, you're not going to get a score here. The entire point of this exercise is for you to see the types of questions that are asked on a real EOG, and to see them in the format they'll be on the actual EOG. So I want you to hit next, and I want you to move through all of the items. There are 60 of them. Both you and your partner should take turns answering these questions and take turns using the tools. Now I expect you to keep your voices down so that everybody in the room can be working on this. All right, guys, after you've gone through all of the questions in the practice released items, and I want you and your partner to take turns doing that so that you both have a chance to answer the questions, but also to see how the tools work. Once you've had a chance to do that, okay, 2 things have to happen. Number 1, you have to hold down the power button to turn off the laptop, okay? Just hold it down until the laptop turns off and return it to the cart. And number 2, you need to grab an index card from the sub, and on that index card, you're going to write 3 things. You're going to write your name on one side of the card. You're also on one side of the card going to write one thing that you really like about the online testing, okay? And on the other side, you're going to write something that you really don't like about the online testing. So name, something you like, something you don't like. And then you turn that card into the colored bin, and any time you have left in class is silent reading time. All right? See you guys tomorrow.